Hello, and welcome back to FRLT season number 4, and it is time for round number 7 of 4s in the season, and we go this week just like we did in Tier 1. We are going to China. As you can see, it is 5.451 kilometers, 3.387 miles, 16 turns, 2 DRS zones, down the pit straight and down that long main, and also back straight it is. It's actually both in one. Quite a bit of elevation towards the first few corners, but overall the track is actually quite flat. Looking at the calendar, as you can see, we have now completed Imola, Abu Dhabi. We then went to Qatar, Great Britain, Austria, and Kota last week, and now we have come to China for round number 7. Final 3 races to go for season 4 in 4s. The Netherlands and Bahrain are the next 2 as we finish off on the 11th. And I think so we're finishing off about mid-May, just not too far away. But looking at the standings, as you can see, XR8 extended their Constructors' Championship lead to 15 points ahead of ABE after a strong race from both of them. ABE could have been closer, but 2 retirements held them back. UFRT didn't score any points for the first time this season as they stay on 94 points. XPG had a decent race, gaining 11 points, bringing themselves up to 51 points and jumping TTRE. Then SKG, on their debut, already pull up to 6th in the Constructors. Don't mind the VRT are also 6th. Don't mind that. That's a slight error. But up to 6th in the Constructors for SKG as they pull up to 29 points. If they do the same, they will very soon, they might pull up to about 4th in the Constructors if XPG have a bad day. So, with that all done, so I was just having to quickly type. So, we're going to be going into the race in about 2 minutes' time. About 2 minutes' time, we're going to head into it. But looking at the standings, XR8 are looking pretty good. I mean, we went sort of 2 races now this season where we were sort of going XR8 lead the Constructors. It's looking like they're going to wrap it up. But now I kind of look at it. I look at XR8, and after a difficult race in Kota and not really pulling far ahead, I mean, they're only 15 points ahead of ABE. That's not a lot when you can score, I think, 59 points altogether in a race. I mean, that's, you know, if ABE have a really good race and they get 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, they're going to fly far, far ahead. Tonight, though, lineups-wise, it's quite interesting. I've got all of them here. XR8 have hit with Bran, Josh Rose, Simba, and Ryan Benink. 3 of those drivers have brought them quite a bit of luck this season. Ryan Benink has won a race in Tier 1. Bran and Josh Rose, of course, showing their skills in 4s. Then SKG have gone with Bradley, Remote, Bop, and Milan. Milan and Remote, of course, also having some really good performances in Tier 1 and here in 4s in both, actually, in all fairness. UFRT, though, looking interesting. They've come back with Deck, Hazen, Pishi, and they've also got Josh in there, new driver that I haven't seen, Josh. So 1 new driver to their lineup. XPG have gone with Flame, Daniel, Tartar and Bourbon once again. And ABE have come out with Bonnie, F1 Julie, Mika and Berkey for tonight. An interesting lineup sort of going on there between those sort of teams at the moment. Quite an interesting one. We're going to be readying up now for the qualifying. We've got 16 drivers in, I do believe. We've got 16 in. We're a little bit short. We're short by 4 drivers, and I'm not sure who is missing. We're missing an XPG. We're missing an XR8. Missing 2 XR8s, actually. Missing 2 XR8s. Yeah. And we're missing an ABE, which is quite strange. But we're loading in now. We're loading in. We're going to be getting going. Which is it's going to be an interesting one here tonight in China. Because, of course, XR8, they need to extend their Constructors' Championship lead. They need to continue pushing for the championship. They keep pushing for the championship. We'll have to see how that goes. I think it's an interesting one because AB are still in contention. Yeah, sorry. My mic went out. I'm getting really annoyed by that. But we're actually into the qualifying now as it just starts. We've got 16 drivers in. Not sure why we have 16. We're missing 4. Like I said, we're missing, again, 2 from one team. Who are we missing? We're missing 2 XR8 drivers. We're actually missing Shoot and Simba for the moment, who I did not see online. Let's just give, as the cars just roll out onto track, let me just have a look if they're online. Because if they're not online, then... see, did I just completely miss them? No, I don't think I've missed them. Strangely enough, no. I've missed either of them. And I think somebody's just joined as well. 17 now. Yeah, Ryan Benink has just joined. First car out on track is an SKG, and that's Remote. He's proven his skills in Tier 1. He almost won here on Wednesday. He almost took the victory ahead of AMS. Almost took SKG's first win of the season. But sadly, not been able to. Just missed out by a few tenths of a second. Still running for that victory. So we've got a couple of drivers with quite a bit of history in the tier and in the league. Remote's definitely shown it this season. He was at EVR at the start of the season. He's now at SKG. But what's interesting about SKG is they really came out fighting. They took the win in Kota in 4s. Their first ever win in FRLT. Of course, they would have liked it to be Tier 1 as well, but they haven't been able to do that. But you can see Remote very much on his own. He's gone out much earlier than anybody else. He might hit some traffic as he heads round. But again, I think we're going to see SKG, especially now they've turned up with Remote and Milan. You know, I think SKG might be a bit more of a problem championship-wise. They might pull up some really good finishes. But let's ride on board with Remote on his lap as he opens his rear wing. For the first time, as now he comes down the pit straight to start off his qualifying. Into turn 1 they go, throwing his car through. You can see good grip coming from that McLaren. A lot of pace coming from it. Now downhill slightly. Now as you head out of this just curve in the road, it's now flat out for the rest of Sector 1. And Sector 1 isn't too long on this track, in all fairness. It isn't very long, only it was 23.698 for the first sector. But you could see, let's see how long the middle sector sort of is, because I know the middle sector's a bit longer in distance. Distance-wise, the first sector is actually longer than the first sector. But I think timing-wise, it's actually a bit shorter. In all fairness, it is. It's quite a bit shorter. But you can see already hitting that traffic remote. Hitting quite a lot of traffic now. He's got another car up in front of him. That's an Alpine. I think that might be, I think, Ryan Benink, who's in front of him. Of course, rivals don't really want to give each other slipstream, but Remote makes his way round. He's going to pick little bits of slipstream up, but this is not the illegal distance, in all fairness. It isn't the illegal distance to pick up slipstream. Not yet, because he is on a flying lap. In all fairness, Ryan Benink could have moved out the way. But Remote making his way around now. He moves out of the way. And look at this, Remote into the final corner. He throws the car through. Up to the line. Where is Remote going to go? He does a 30.206, which is the first lap of the evening. And that's a solid first lap of the evening as well. Next is Hazer for UFRT. No points last race. They really want to make up for that, but it's only a 31.697. As now Joseph Bryn goes even faster to a 1 minute 30.015, almost into the 1 minute 29s, and I believe that is SKG as well. So SKG really looking good at the moment. Really looking good. We saw XPG Daniel do a 30, doing a 30.478. Not too bad. As we see UFRT Josh jump to P2. Also into the 1 minute 30.0s, but he just misses out on provisional pole. Just for now, he just misses out. Not by a lot, but by just a very little bit. Next is Tartar Sauce coming up to the line. Where's he going to go? XPG need a big evening here. Last race, 11 points scored. Not bad for their season total, but it's only going to be P5. And second slowest as Bonnie goes P4. Slots in then Brand further behind. Beaten then by his teammate Ryan Benink, who goes to a 30.294. XR8 not coming out too quick at the moment. Julian went P10. And look at that, Josh Rose. He's shown incredible pace at China before. All across from Season 2, 3 and 4. Josh Rose has shown incredible pace at China. And he's doing it again. But he's still almost 2/10 off a provisional pole. So XR8 bit far away at the moment, and it's not looking like the perfect qualifying as of yet for themselves. So now Pishi comes up to line. He goes P8 to a 30.4. That's not a terrible lap from himself, but of course he would have been hoping for more. But next is UFRT Deck. UFRT need a massive return tonight. Third in the Constructors' Championship. I think they know that they've pretty much ruled themselves out of the Constructors' Championship and winning it. They had a good push in round 2, 3, and 4. They had a really good push over 3 races, but it's kind of fallen away since, especially with last race, no points, and their rivals scoring some decent points as well. As now, Deck only goes to P10 in the order, not great. Next is Bourbon Boy, who's, it's not Bourbon Boy, but we're just going to watch Bourbon Boy anyway, because, you see, Bourbon Boy's been an interesting driver, I think. He's, last season he was crucial in XPG's point scoring in 4s. He was hugely crucial in them scoring points across 4s and the way they did it. And I think also in Season 2 as well. Bourbon Boy's been incredibly crucial to XPG for the last couple of seasons. But it'll be interesting to see because, Bourbon Boy has proven he's decently fast at China. Can he do it again here tonight? But he invalidates off the final corner. What would have it been when he crossed the line? It would have been P3, ahead of Josh Rose. But it's a bit disappointing because it's not that position anyway. And it is. It's real disappointment there. But next is Milan. He's coming up to the line, and he's going to be starting his lap now. Let's see how Milan can do. He needs some good form. He's had a couple of struggles in Tier 1 this season. He's had a couple of ups and downs. Let's see how the SKG driver can do. It's 23.680 in the first sector. Very good. It's an incredibly good first sector. It's exactly what he was looking for. Very, very fast compared to some of the drivers. I mean, the gaps, though, are really showing. I mean, look at that, 11,000 splitting third to fifth. I mean, that's really showing how close, at the moment, the pack is in front at the moment. Sort of almost 3/10 divide, first to seventh. So it's looking pretty close. The gaps do open further back, but Milan looking incredibly quick. He's gone purple, but we know the game likes to lie half the time. So we'll have to see as he makes his way round onto the back straight, one of the longest straights on the calendars. He opens to the rear wing for the final time this lap. He's flying all the way down this back straight incredibly quickly. He's right on board into the hairpin. He's got to get this right. Good turn in. The car's not kicking out at all. Very stable. Ooh, a little bit of a slide there. Overall, that McLaren's looking incredibly stable, just like it does in real life in 2025 in the real life F1 season. And he only goes P3 and only to a 30.193. So for all of that, I'm not sure what happened there and what went wrong for Milan, but he's a bit off of his teammate, and that's not where exactly he wants to be. He wants to be maybe a little bit closer. So now Berkey is making his way around. I think we've only seen Berkey race once or twice in FRLT. He's not had a good record, I believe. I wrote down a note about it, actually, that I don't believe he scored any points in his performances in FRLT, so he's really going to be hoping for a decent performance here tonight. Throwing the car through into the final corner. Let's see what he does when he crosses the line. It's only a 30.788. Now he misses him out on P11, but he's quite far off, over 7/10, almost 8/10 behind provisional pole for the moment. Josh is on a lap, but he's down by 15 thousandths in the first sector. He doesn't need a lot. He only needs half a tenth to go to provisional pole. That will only be by 8 thousandths of a second, but let's see how he does in his middle sector. He's going to have a bit of traffic as he comes around. Might be a bit of a problem with the traffic. And in the middle sector, is he improving? He is. He's up by 76 thousandths. At the moment, he's going to go to a 29 and become the first driver to go to a 29, which is going to be incredible to see here tonight. As XPG Daniel goes fastest of all, but he just misses out. On a 29, he does a 30.002, 3 thousandths more, and he would have gone to a 29, but it's provisional pole by 13 thousandths at the moment for Daniel. Can Josh beat that? He was improving, and he was going to go into a 1 minute 29. Is he still doing it? He's still going to finish the lap. He's all the way on the limit, and across the line he goes. He goes fastest of all, a tenth and a half faster, and he goes to a 1 minute 29.896. He's setting the pace right away, and next comes Brown. He's only up by about a tenth of a second. He's not gaining a lot of time at the moment. He's picking up a little bit of slipstream across the line. He only goes to a 1 minute 30.096 as he goes P4. Brown still sitting almost 2/10 off of the pace. Exactly 2/10 off the pace away from Josh at the moment. It's not looking perfect. Not at all. It's not looking perfect in any sort of way. Bourbon Boy's just started his lap. I think we've got... It's not Ryan Benink. It's Josh Rose who's on a lap. Let's see. Is he improving? He might be. Is he going to go fastest? I think so. He doesn't. He doesn't. A tenth and a half improved, but it's only P4 still. So still outside of that top three. Unable to get there. His teammate, though, Ryan Benink, can he do it? No. He's invalidated. And that's incredible disappointment. XR8, they got pole last week. They're really struggling to get pole this week. They're not even inside of the top three. They sit quite far behind as well. They need another tenth and a half in their lap to go to provisional pole. UFRC looking like the favourites at the moment. We've then got Bonnie coming up to the line. Bonnie's looking good. That Ferrari looking fast out there at the moment. AB needs some strong points against XR8. And across the line, Bonnie doesn't improve in the end. Bit disappointing there. Tartar comes in. He's not happy with his lap. Hazer's not happy with his lap. That's disappointment there. As now Julian comes up to the line. Where's Julian going to go? Julian improves by 0.6, but only goes 14th. Joseph Bryn, even faster by 0.02 of a second. He goes faster than UFRT Josh. It is SKG versus UFRT. At the moment, only 2 drivers in those lap times for now. As we saw Deck, he improved by about 1/10.5 to go to 30.5, but no improvement in position. But a bit of disappointment there. But what's disappointing is to see how XR8 are not exactly bottling it under the pressure, but they're really struggling to get performance at the moment. You know, 1 minute 30.42, then a 1 minute 30.096, then a 1 minute 30.294. There are 3 drivers in the lobby. At the moment, Ryan Benink has, I think, disconnected. Some problems there, but it's looking like a rough one at the moment for these guys. Now, Remote is on a lap, by the way. Let's see. Is he improving? I didn't get to see. Ryan, oh no, your PC's crashed. Let's hope you can get back in before the end of qualifying, because then we might have a couple of problems. Let's see. He's Remote on fast lap. I'm not sure whether he is or not. Into the final corner he goes. Let's see, and across the line, where is he going to go? He goes P3 for SKG. They're looking incredibly strong on straight away here in 4s. P3, 1 minute 29.947. Now 3 drivers into the 1 minute 29s. Still not a lot, but still a few drivers into those lap times now. The only other driver who's actually out on track who will be starting lap soon is SKG Bop, who's only done a 1 minute 31.437. The fact they're about 1.6 seconds behind provisional pole, behind his teammate as well specifically. That's just massive. Generally, it's mental, you know. You wouldn't really think that, in all honesty. You wouldn't really think that in sort of any other way, you know. But invite, please. Yes, I shall. Unless you can get one of your drivers to do it, but I shall invite you if I can find you. Please be online. Please be online. If you're not, I'm gonna hate you. No, this game does not like to work. No. Okay, this is gonna be. I can't find you. Okay. You might need to get one of your teammates to invite you, because there's no changing pages. Can you get one of your teammates to do it, please, if possible, because you're not on the list for me, and it doesn't want to change, because you can't change. You can't go between pages. So I've got too many friends. So yeah, you need to get one of. Yeah, I know. It's ass. This game is so bad. It is actually ass. If you just get who could you get? You could just get you could get Riot. No, that's you. What am I saying? You could just get Bran to do it on his outlap. He's just started it. Bran or like Josh. They have time to do it. But yeah, I know this game is just terrible. It is awful. As it's an validation from Bop anyway. Hazer becomes one of the first start lap. He's already invalidated it as well. He's already invalidated it. But it is Joseph Bryn, man on provisional pole, to get it done. Here he goes. On his lap. Let's see how he can do. Will this man improve more? First sector looking pretty smooth from the Sauber, which I did not expect to hear. And across the first sector line, it is 1/10. 1/10 up. Looking to a 29.7 now. So looking quite quick from himself. Let's see how he can do. As he makes his way round. Through the left-hander he goes. Now into the next one. 10th.5 up now from himself. It's looking pretty good. Remote has retired from qualifying, which is interesting to see. I'm not sure why he's retired. But that is time up. Some drives are done. Ryan Benink, of course, didn't make it. Somebody else just spawned back to the pits. I think that was Remote himself. Heading round. Hazer has also retired. He feels like he's done. Bop has also retired. But let's see how Joseph Bryn can do. Can he improve even more? Can he protect his pole position for SKG in that 1 point? Cross the line. He can't. He loses all the time as he drops out. Milan is invalidated. More disappointment for himself. Bourbon Boy coming around the final corner. What can Bourbon Boy do when he crosses the line? He goes P4. Just into a 29. Just into 29. Josh Rose coming round. He's up by 10th.5. Let's see. Can he keep that up when he crosses the line? Yes, he can. No, he can't. Only to a 30.001. That's Bonnie who's gone P8. That's a pretty solid lap time there. I think we've got Brand coming up to the line next. He goes P3 onto the second row. Pretty nice from himself. That's Berkey who's just come across. Very nice to see. I think that's Pishi coming up to the line next. He goes P9. Pretty solid there. Tarsource can't improve. He only goes P14. P15. Julian coming round. Across the line. Only 300ths faster. And that is it. It is Joseph Bryn on pole position for SKG. The 1 point for SKG scored here tonight. SKG's first pole of the season. What an incredible finish it was. Let's see if we can actually try to invite Ryan, because this game's being ass. It is actually being ass. I hate this game so much. I do apologise, guys. I just need to... Room was on my list. He's not on here, which is really frustrating. He's not on here. But... so stupid. This game is so stupid. I would invite whoever back, but the game doesn't want me to. So, let's go through the order of the grid. Joseph Bryn is on pole! Just 200ths behind him. It's an incredibly close pole with Josh. Just 200ths behind. Bran in third, followed by Remote in fourth. Bourbon Boy fifth. Josh Rose sixth. Daniel in seventh. Bonnie in eighth. Pishi in ninth. And Milan in 10th. Followed by then Ryan Benink in 11th. Berkey in 12th. Deck in 13th. Tartar Sauce in 14th. Julian in 15th. Bop in 16th. And Hazer in 17th and last. It's incredible to see that it is 71,000 split the top four. It's just incredible to see that, in all honesty. It is incredible to see that. I see some people calling FRLT a sweatfest. And it is raining here. I do apologise, I just needed to add that in. I'm just quickly typing. Drivers have just about a minute It is raining, as we can see. It's raining here in China. This is going to be an interesting one because we had this in Tier 1 as well. We had rain and then it turned dry. I have to see whether that's the same here for falls. Let's see. So we're going to be reading up in a minute. Whew, it's very close. 3 different constructors. It's sort of, I think, the top 4. It's really interesting to see, like, it's so close. 71,000 splitting the top 4 drivers is crazy that it is that close in the dry conditions. I think we're going to be getting going in the next second or two. If you are enjoying the stream, please think about subscribing and leaving a like. Also, click on that notification bell to know about all the content we're going to be doing here from videos, shorts, and streams. And I can hear the beeping in the background to show that we're going to be getting ready any second now. Now, here it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go here for FRLT Season 4 in falls for round number 7 in China. And it is a good getaway from Joseph Bryn, who leads away from pole into turn number 1. And through the first section, we can see 4 wide going on further back. Who's going to come out on top here? Who is it going to be? You can see Brand's already been knocked down a bit. Down to 4th. He hasn't got in the start. Remote is up to P3. Everybody looking like they're on the intermediate tyres, I think, at the moment. As the drivers made their way round now. Bourbon Boy jumping up to P5. Good start from himself. He's battling with Josh Rose over that position. XR8 not getting what they need. Ryan Beninka's retired from the session, and that is him done. XR8 really not having the best of days. And he has said his race is over because AI mode. Very, very disappointing. This game, I feel bad for him. This game's awful. This game is awful. It really is. It really, really is. And I'm sorry that I couldn't invite him back. And now Joseph Bryn leads away. Milan battling to try and get up to 8th place. Now Milan trying to make some moves past Daniel. It's not working for the moment. Whoa, what a big collision. That's Milan who's gotten into a problem. And now Joseph Bryn leads away. The front 2 of Joseph Bryn and Remote SKG 1-2. This night is already turning awful for XR8, only 4th and 6th now left in the race. They're missing 1 driver here tonight. But, you know, it's not looking good. They're down to 2 again, and they're not even leading this time. They're only going to be taking 11. They're only going to be taking 18 points at the end of tonight, while SKG will be bringing in a huge amount of points just from the top 2 places. But it's been a good start from SKG. Though UFRT Josh still in P3. But he is struggling. Somebody said about blocking at the end of qualifying. So it looks like maybe a penalty will be coming his way. A post-race penalty from the stewards will be coming the way of UFRT. And maybe a podium will be lost and big points will be lost. But for the moment, the gaps are starting to build. And the grid is starting to open up slightly more. With now the top 2 over a second ahead of 3rd place. It's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be very interesting to see. But what is strange to see is AB struggling so much with their drivers P10, P11, P15. I think their 4th driver was in here, I think, or 1 is missing. So at the moment, only 1 point is set to be scored between all of them. So it's looking pretty bad for them as now Remote takes the lead of the race. He wants to get back that win that he lost in Tier 1 on Wednesday. He wants to take that win here. He wants to get it in fours as now they lead away by 1.5 seconds out of lap 2. It looks like this might be a very one-sided fight as now Bop is having a bit of a moment further back. He's dropped down to P15 now. These two jumping up. But AB only won for 1 point, so really it's looking like a very tough evening for themselves. Daniel only in P8. XPG scoring some good points at the moment. They're on for P5 and P8. They're on for a nice 13 points at the end of the night, which is better than what they did last race. So I think they'll be taking it, especially with SKG all over the back of them. But Josh under a huge amount of pressure now from Bran, who is really giving him a bit of a problem. But the problem is Bran can't seem to get close enough at the right time. He seems to be very close in Sector 1. But through Sector 2, you could see he just seems to struggle a bit to keep up with the Red Bull in front. I'm not sure whether that's dirty air or just grip or setup difference. But you see he's had actually a bit of a better Sector 2 now. Onto the back of the Red Bull. Bit of a mistake, bit of a lock-up. Van's really trying to find any sort of small mistake he could find with the Red Bull and with the UFRT drivers now. The front two are leading by over 2 seconds. And remember, for Bran, XR8 want this victory. They want to win. But the problem that Bran's having is that he's currently got a bit of a problem. Whoa, squeezing onto the grass, onto the brakes, down the inside he goes. Getting fully squeezed. 3 wide, Bourbon Boy though, coming through. Josh drops down. He's dropping down the order. He's gone all the way onto the grass. Brand's up to P3, but he's got Bourbon Boy now, who's jumped up a position. Look at that, Daniel as well, giving a good battle with Milan over P8. Still, these two battle for just 3 points in this race. They're battling for the smallest amount of points. Remember, there's no Drivers' Championship. There is only the Constructors' Championship for fours. I know, there's only the Constructors' Championship, no Drivers' Championship. We were going to do it before, but sadly, time-wise, we don't have enough time to be able to do it, or enough people. But Bourbon Boy up to P4, but look at this. Pishi looking for that move. Pishi's had a really good start. Josh now fighting his way up to P7. He stays ahead of Milan. He's really trying to hold on, but UFRT having a couple of struggles here tonight. But Bran now over 3 seconds behind the front two. Is this the win is the win sort of slipping away from XR8? Do they feel like already their pace is not there? You can see already they're losing a couple of hundredths already in the middle sector. Bran's already up by almost 0.3 of a second in his middle sector on his personal best, but it's not getting much better. Tartar Sauce has had a moment. He's in the wall and it's damage to his front wing. XPG, their race is not getting much better in Tier 1, nor are they in fours. It's not looking perfect for the moment. Look at this remote. Really giving a bit of a move to his teammate Joseph Ben over the lead of the race. But I think SKG know that now they can control the race. They don't even really realistically have to push massively because they've got this massive 3.7 second lead. And they're just setting fast laps after fastest laps. Tartar Sauce has retired from the race. I think the worst thing for SKG would be if a safety car comes out, because that lead would completely be annihilated. You see, that's now up to 4 seconds. It just went over 4 seconds just for a split second there. So you can see the gap is increasing massively with the leaders, but Hazer has also retired 3 retirements already on lap 5. And look at that massive move from Pishi on Josh Rose. Clean move as he gets past into P5. But for XR8, this isn't good because they've just dropped 3 points. Because P6 is only 7 points and P5 is 10 points. They've just dropped 3 more points in their Constructors' Championship bid already just there. Brand might be picking up, he might be picking up 13, but only 7 coming from Josh Rose now. So it's only going to be 20 points for XR8 here tonight. It's not a massive championship gain for them like last week. For AB, though, not much of a gain for themselves, but it's way more points for SKG here tonight. You see that gap's almost it's just sitting at about that 4-second mark. You can see the cars are just about down the road. You could just about see them. You can see them just there. Close up to the hairpin, but down the straight you could barely see the cars in front. And that's a massive problem, I think, for XR8. They're not catching the leaders. And it looks like they're going to have to go a second race without winning now. And for XR8, this is not where they want to be. They don't want to be sitting this far behind. I mean, already lap 6, and they're already 4 seconds behind the race leaders. And they're only going to be taking 20 points here tonight, extending their championship lead to 100 and, they're going to be extending their championship haul to 175 points at the moment. So now Berkey makes his way past. He's trying to make his way past his teammate. In-house battling at ABE. Getting a little bit spicy there. They're on the back of Milan. Or they're on the back of Milan and Daniel. But they need to start making moves. Both of these drivers, they need to make moves at least up to sort of around Josh Rose. At least up to Milan, so P7 and P8. So at least, 5 points coming from P7 and 3 from P8. So at least sort of taking 8 points still. At least still taking a points. Still taking some points in the championship here tonight. They're going to lose another 12 points to XR8. Thing is, this was the race where very much I do believe, and I think everybody very much agree with me, that this is where ABE needed to be strong. These last 2 races, they needed ABE to be on the back. And last race, let's be fair, in Kota, ABE didn't really lose a lot of points. They're only 15 points behind. The championship's still on, 3 races to go, but now 1 point compared to 20. They're going to lose 19 points here tonight, and already on a 15-point deficit. 24, they're up to 34 points behind, And in 2 races to close 34 points is going to be incredibly difficult, because at the minute that, I think, if I'm correct, ABE are 59 points behind in the championship. The minute they're 59 points behind, 60, if it increases to 60 points by the end of next race, ABE will have lost the championship and XRA will be crowned champions. And of course, for ABE, it's really frustrating because they've led the championship for most of the season. I mean, they led it out of the first 4 races or 5 races of the season. I think they've led out of the first 4 or 5 races of the season. I think it's the first 4 races. 4 or 5 races they've led out of, and now the last race or 2, they've kind of let go of the constructor championship, keeping close. But it's races like this where they just can't get past anybody, and they're just sitting 10th, 11th, and 13th. This isn't where you need to be. You need to be fighting sort of P4, P3, you need to be fighting with them, not far, far behind them. Still, the lead increases slightly to 4.1 seconds, still sitting around that 4-second mark. Brad unable to close in. Bourbon Boys dropping off a bit, about a second behind. Josh Rose as well. Gaps are starting to build. I think we're really seeing that now. Gaps are building. But the dominance of SKG here tonight is incredible to see how they've had a really good start, and they are just really getting away with this race. And the longer that they stay this sort of 4-second gap, it's going to be even easier as the race goes on. The rain is getting a bit lighter from what I see. The rain's getting a bit lighter as it goes on. Look at this. Josh and Daniel battling over P8. Can Daniel, for XPG, make his way past, get that P8 finish and get those 3 points? Not at the moment. Whoa, and a massive slide. Josh is really struggling on this last lap. He's down to 2.1 seconds now, over 2 seconds behind. I think that is going to be Daniel making his way past into P8. Whoa, he's gone really deep. A bit of contact led him to there. I think he doesn't have a car up on his inside, but look at this. He's trying to get the Red Bull, but still unable to. I think it's very much the conditions that it's a struggle to really get close enough. Just when you think you've got it, you haven't. And, I think that's very much showing across the grid that nobody has really been able to pull off any big moves in this race yet. And everybody's just trying to keep their car intact, on lap 8. Still another 20 laps to go after this. It's still a long race ahead of us. Whoa, and a bit of a mistake from Daniel. He has got an ABE driver all over the back of him. ABE being strangely passive here tonight. Not really getting into any racing. Very much they've just sort of sat in this kind of P10, P11 sort of area, and they've not really closed in. They've not really attacked anybody. Same for Deck as well in P12 with the UFRT. You know, in all fairness, it's the same for this man. He hasn't really been able to make any moves. He's, you know, whenever he's had the chance, he's made a small mistake off of the exit or something, and that's really lost him any chance. Julian gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, the first penalty of the night. Now, Daniel going for a move around the outside on the brakes. I think this is the first really, really big move we're seeing. Unable to make the move. Daniel, though, doesn't make the move. And look at this. Milan now jumping up some places. That's because Josh Rose, and Josh gets a penalty, a 3-second time penalty as well. But that's, I think that's Josh Rose and Pishi who come in. What tyres are these guys going to? They're going to another set of intermediates. Do they think there's such an increase as Julian Price now retires? 4 drivers from 4 different teams have now all retired. But does Josh Rose think a fresh set is really going to help him? Because he's now down and outside of the points by about 10 seconds. So he's really, really far behind. It's going to at least take him, I'd say, till about lap 15 to catch up to P10. Has he really kind of let go of this? You know, is this kind of a bit of a mistake? You know, Pishi as well coming in. Same for Deck, I think, who's also come in. Is there a bit of a mistake for all of these guys to come in? Or does this make any sense? Only 13 drivers out of the 17 that started the race. Shocking that we've already had 4 retirements after just 8 full laps. We're on lap 9. 4 retirements already. Crazy to think about. But, yeah. Remote, by the way, is actually extending his lead. He's almost a second ahead of Joseph Bryn, which actually puts him over 5 seconds in the lead of the race. As Berkey now actually jumps up to P7 ahead of his teammates. So now it is very much that P7 and P8. And with Josh's penalty, that's going to be P6 and P7. So looking a bit better, I'd say. You know, 12 points at the end of the night. A bit better. Bourbon Boy, by the way, gets past Brand, but Brand comes into the pits. XR8 thinking a bit when a bold weight. We'll see how much Josh Rhodes actually gains or loses. Because if he doesn't really, gain anything off of his teammate, I think we'll sort of see that fresh inters are maybe not the way to go. Brown was in front. Has Josh Rose gained anything? No, he hasn't. He's still behind his teammate. Closer, but it's gone from maybe being a second behind to being a few tenths behind. So really, it's either been not so much of a good outlap from Josh Rose, or purely those fresh inters are not a huge amount faster. And I'm really feeling like they're not a huge amount faster at the moment. But we'll have to see. It is lap 10 of this race. Just over a third into it. So we'll have to see how this race goes. I think, as you can see, a lot of racing here tonight. A lot is going on. But if you guys enjoy the stream, please think about subscribing and leaving a like. Really, please do. We're so close to 200 subscribers. We're so close. We're at 195. Let's try and get those last 5. Maybe this stream. Who knows? Maybe this stream. If we do, I'd be absolutely amazed. But yeah, please subscribe. So we can try to hit 200 subscribers by the end of tonight. If we don't, that's okay, because hopefully very soon in the next maybe week, we'll reach 200 subscribers. And a massive feat will be done for the channel very much. Huge thanks to you guys anyway for all the amazing support. I mean, 195 subscribers still. Incredible. Absolutely incredible from you guys. I can't, like, in all fairness, you know, I could say, we should have more, you know, and I would love to have more. But, you know, it's all a journey. You know, we're all doing it together. In fairness, we're all doing it together. And, you know, we're all enjoying it. As you can see, though, fast lap set by Josh now on fresh inters. Maybe fresh inters are maybe the way to go seems like tyre wear is quite high. Brand now gets past Bot, by the way, here on lap 11. Only taking him sort of 2-3 laps to really get past the Sauber, but he's far, far away from his teammates anyway. Not looking too quick from the Sauber, but you can see, look at that. Josh Rose getting held up so much, but ultimately Bot lets him by. Thank you, Brian Woodburn. Thank you so much. You are amazing. You are an absolutely amazing human being. Thank you so much. Absolutely incredible. Support you guys give is top notch. Top notch. Really, 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 it is. I cannot sort of say otherwise. You guys really guys are brilliant. In all honesty, you guys are amazing. Yeah, really, you guys are. 5 subscribers away, just 5, 2.5% of our subscribers, total subscribers for 200 away. So close. Brand though is closing in. He's just set a 41.864. He's gone quite a bit quicker, about another 10th faster than Josh. Or Pishi, whichever one it was. I think it was Josh. Daniel now does a 41.8 as well, so the lap times are coming down, so maybe it is time to come in. Who knows? Maybe it is. But it is Remote who leads away, who's led for pretty much this entire race. I think he's led about 10 out of the 12 laps so far. He's really just dominated this race. And SKG, of course, have completely dominated this race in the lead. 1-2. All fairness, they've definitely deserved it. They've done that from lap 1, so it looks like it could really be a 1-2 and just dominant finish here in China for these guys. But we'll have to see whether these guys are going to go to fresher tyres. Let's see. Are they going to go to fresher tyres? That's my question. Are they going to go? Aren't they going to go? Let's see. Let's see what they choose to do. Because it's gonna be an interesting to see what they do. Are they gonna go into the final corner? Another lap for Remote. He feels like the inters are still okay enough. He feels like they're still good enough to run on, but the lap times are not showing it. And I think Bourbon. Let's see how he's gonna do. I think that's Berkey. What has he set as a lap time? 45. So, at the moment, quite a bit far away from that sort of lap time. Brand really getting close now. Bourbon boy. Where is he going to come out in all of this? Comes out behind Pishi, so he's lost a lot of time, but he has saved tyre wear. If those tyres were gone after 9 laps, realistically, getting sort of an extra 3-4 laps wear isn't going to help Brown or Josh Rose. For instance, Josh Rose, it's not going to help him having that extra tyre wear. It could be another, it could be an extra 2-3%. Well, it could be an extra 4-5%. Who knows? I think it could be an extra maybe 3 to 5% tyre wear. So, not looking too great for himself. But Bran closing up now to another car, and it's an ABE. They're championship rivals. And it is Berkey, who he's going to be passing very soon, down to 1 second already. Look at the pace he's setting. Really incredible from Bran. Really incredible. Great pace we're seeing from XR8 on these intermediates. But tyre wear does seem pretty high. Does seem really high now. Down the back straight. The move, is it going to be made? We can see Remote has now come in. Oh, we're much later on the brakes. But it's Berkey who's still battling it. In all fairness, Berkey still gave him a bit of a tough time having to go round the outside. Didn't make it easy for him. But who's going to take the lead of the race now? Who is going to come out in front? Because it's not going to be Remote. Remote is going to be behind 1, 2, 3. He's behind 3. The pit stop has not worked. The overcut hasn't worked, but tyre wear should be on his side now. Because if Josh Rose came in lap 9, then he might have, at most, I could see him going to lap 20, but he might have to stop again in this race. But for a remote, he might not have to stop again for a remote. That's his only plus, is that he might not have to stop, and he's still 2 seconds in front of Bourbon Boy in the end. Let's just see how much he gains. Wow, he's already gaining quite a bit already. Looking incredibly interesting for the moment. Looking incredibly close, and one of the most intense races I think I have possibly ever seen. Looking very close, but look at this. Berkey is really giving. He's slowing down Josh Rose on purpose. Oh my god, he's actually slowing down Josh Rose, I think, on purpose to give him a problem. Because look at this now. Remote has been able to close up that gap, and look at this. It's going to be 3 wide. 3 wide down the back straight. It is Remote who leads the way at the moment. It's gone down to 2 wide. See Berkey still following in behind. Who's going to brake later? Into the hairpin. On the brakes. Remote has gotten Josh Rose already. The undercut is working beautifully for Remote. And that slow traffic has really hurt Josh Rose and has really hurt XR8 already. One chance kind of disappearing. But has it dried up a bit? Sorry, has it dried up a bit? Looking at Bourbon Boy, for instance, it looks like it has stopped raining. It's stopped raining, so it is turning dry. So for Remote in this case, he might have not done it exactly perfectly because he hasn't gone long, and now XR8 do have the lead of the race, but it is dry, and there goes Bourbon Boy on Berkey for P6 in this race, and 7 points walking the way of XPG. Looking pretty good. The one driver who hasn't actually gotten away with this at all is Pishi. He's really not gotten away with this because he's really far behind now. He's really, really far behind, as that's Daniel who's had a moment. Daniel's race went from points to no points. It's a bit disappointing. Joseph Bryn, by the way, still on the intermediate tyres, yet to stop. He's the only driver in this race, by the way, who hasn't stopped. Joseph Bryn now comes into the pits. He's got to be careful on his entry. So now he makes his way around. Now, Bran, as you can see, Milan still leads away. He's still yet to pit as well for Milan. Let's see. Now comes in. Hard tyres on for Joseph Bryn. Interesting to go for the hard tyres. I thought he would have gone mediums because I think mediums could last. Because I know softs last about 5 to 8 laps. In fairness, they do last decent amount. So I think Joseph Bryn's gone a little bit safe here. But let's see, how much faster is he on the hard tyres? At the moment, he's not been quicker. He's not faster. No, they don't look faster at the moment. They're looking slower. In all fairness, they're not looking quicker at all. They're looking about the same as they're looking. Wow, whoa, there's a lot of struggles on the tyres. Oh my god. I don't think the hard tyres are ready for the surface. Daniel gets a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Oh my god, it is really slippy. It looks completely dry out there. But it's nowhere close to being ready. It's nowhere close. And okay, wow. Daniel now retires in the pits. Holy. That's not looking good. As now Josh Rose drops down to P5. Remote battles with Bran over position. But it's Milan now comes in. That's strange. That's really strange because Joseph Bryn is not catching. these tyres are slower. I don't know whether it's just him struggling on the tyres. But look at how slidey it is. It's just not working at the moment. He's just dropped really far behind. He just gets in front of his teammate, Milan. But that was expected anyway. Milan's gone for the medium, so Milan's gone for the faster tyre. Is it just the hard tyres really struggling to get round? I don't know. I do not know at all. Oh, the mediums look very slidey as well. This is really interesting now. So, in the end, XR8 do lead away for the first time. SKG won't keep the perfect record of leading every lap of the race. That's now. XR8 will lead away. Look at this. Look at how close it is. Remote practically pushing Bran through this long right-hander. Looks like XR8's dream of winning, I think, is still very much not on the cards. I think it's looking like it might be disappearing as we speak. Now, Remote just gets into the lead. Bit of contact there into the hairpin. Remote almost spins it. Bran goes round the outside, and it will be Bran who continues to lead the race. And it'll be an XR8-led lap for the first time this race. A different team other than SKG have led. It's XR8 who lead away. Now here on lap number 18, Josh Rose now comes into the pits. Are these tyres now faster? I do not know. I don't know whether they're faster or not. I have no clue. Joseph Bryn was way ahead. He's now way ahead of Josh Rose still. Somebody's going slowly. That's Bop who's going slowly. And that is Josh who's dropping through the field. Joseph Bryn's now been overtaken by Deck on the intermediate tyres. Holy Jesus. Deck has made an overtake. Okay, wow. Okay, the Inters look like the faster tyre still at the moment. They still look faster, or at least the same. So Remote leads away from Bran now. One lap led for XR8, and that is it. That's been the highlight very much of XR8's evening. And I think that's very much going to stay the highlight of their evening, because there's not really been anything else for XR8 in fairness. That is very much the peak of their evening, was leading the race. And leading just one lap here tonight, which is one of the lowest amounts of laps led this season by XR8. But now, Remote leads by over a second ahead. I think very much XR8 might be counting themselves just for a P3 finish. It's now Bop also retires down to 11 drivers. SKG now retires from the race. Holy. And now you can see Bran goes in, and it's now going to be Remote and Bourbon Boy who now go out to 1-2 at the moment. Joseph Bryn has made his way back past Deck for P4. Battling though the intermediates as he goes straight into the pits. I think the hard tyres are now getting a little bit warmer and they're getting a little bit faster. De-ice is now enabled, and ultimately Bran does lose the position, and he's lost it by quite a bit. Is he going to lose it to Milan as well? There's a car that's just stopped on track. That's Bop. So now he does disappear, but Bran's now lost out to Milan at the same time. So for Bran, this is a really big loss actually, because they're down to just scoring 17 points now here tonight. They've dropped another point from where they were. This is really, really bad for Bran. This is terrible for him and for XR8, because they're only going to score 17 points now. It's going to be their lowest finish, I think, since round 3. It's going to be their worst finish of the season. It's not looking good. It's really looking bad. Or since round 1, I think. Round 1 of round 3. It's going to be the worst finish they've had all season long. As Bran goes off track a bit, hoping he doesn't get a penalty. But Josh Rose quite far behind, though. The medium tyre is definitely the best of the tyres to choose from. So his hard tyres still have basically no grip on them. I think we're going to see Remote drive straight into the pits. He knows it's time. Same as Bourbon Boy. They're going to have fresher tyres, though, than Joseph Brin, Milan, and Brown, and Josh Rose. Fresher tyres than all of them. The thing is, a little bit further ahead as well for Milan. In all fairness, he's a little bit further ahead. He's going to go to the medium tyres, of course. Slapping on the mediums. He's gotten away nicely. Where's he going to pull out? I think he's going to come out in third. Joseph Brin has just set the fast lap of the race, 1:39. Where's he going to come out? He is going to come out in third. A perfect prediction for myself. Absolutely perfect prediction. It's an SKG 1-2-3. And this has now made things very interesting in this race because Brown might be up to 4th. They might be back up to 18 points. But SKG are rolling in points now. And it's going to be, for the first time this season, a team obliterates everyone else and takes all of the top 3 places and all of the podium places in the end in a single race. And that's a huge amount of points as well. Pole position, so already a point there. Already 1 point ahead off of qualifying. And you can see, look at that now. Milan allows Remote to get in front on the fresher tyres, but not Bran. He's going to hold up Bran all he can. Bran's trying to make a move, but look at that. Look at this. Bran down the inside. He's made the move, but a bit of contact. It's not working out there. Milan already off for the podium, but still. Remote chasing the win. Bran's now over a second behind. He's lost out quite a bit of time, but Remote chasing Joseph Brin for the win. Only a few laps to go. 8 more laps to go of this race. And it is counting down very, very quickly. DRS is now enabled as well, remember. So the drivers are going to be ever so closer as well. At the same time, they're going to get that little bit closer to each other. See, look at this. Milan's keeping up now. Same as Bourbon Boy. Both of them keeping up. Joseph Brin has just set the fastest lap of the race. It's immediately beaten by Brown by about 0.8 of a second. But look at this. Milan chasing down Bran over P3 in this race. Over that podium position. Over those 15 points. Are they going for a late charge in the championship? Because at the moment, this is a brilliant step forward. And I think it will push them ahead of both TTRE and XPG at the moment. I think they'll jump ahead of both teams because they're getting 18 and 15. So 23, 33, and then they're going to be getting at least another 11. So 33, 44 points. Plus with pole 45 points from this evening at least. At the moment, 45 points. While XPG are only walking away with, I don't even know how many they're walking away with at the moment, because when I look at it, Daniel Tartaso, is there another Haas? There isn't another Haas, so in the end, it is very much just these drivers remaining. It is just going to be 10 points for XPG at the moment. Just 10 points. I kind of feel bad to some degree. Now that's 11 points, but I kind of feel bad for XPG. You know, they're not getting away with much of the season. You know, we've seen in Tier 1 as well, the last sort of 2-3 races, they've not gotten away with anything now. 3 races without points. They're really struggling to get those positions, but look at this Milan trying to get back on Bourbon Boy for P5. It's not going to work for now, but Milan will be hoping to hold on to P5. Or at least the top 2. SKG still want to pull away with a double podium in the end. But still, even with that, I mean, in all fairness, still 33 points. I mean, 43 points still in the end. It's still 43 points for SKG. It's still a huge amount. And I don't think Milan will drop lower than 6, but either way, I think we know SKG are going to be coming out with the most points out of any team for a second. I think it's going to be a second week now in a row. Second week, I believe, they're coming out with the most points out of any team. I believe they're coming out with that. Or, I might be slightly wrong, I think it was XR8, but on their second weekend, they're going to be coming out with the most points out of any team. And they are going to pull themselves ahead of XPG at the moment. As it stands, they're going to pull themselves ahead of XPG and TTRE. They're going to move up into 4th in the Constructors. UFRT, though, having a decent night. 7 points on the way for them. And now XPG pull up to third. And it's an important third because it's now up to 15 points. And it's a better chance for them as now they chase down second place. The win, I think we know, is out of... There's no way that I think XPG or XR8 win tonight with just 5 laps to go. You know, Remote in a decent lead already. Still got to get past Joseph Bryn, who's going to give them a lot of problems and slow them down a lot during the middle sector as well. But yeah, I think tonight's been an interesting one to see because I think qualifying it showed how close everybody was, and it's showing again in the race how close very much everyone is. Once again, this season we have a lot of teams. You know, we've got 3 teams battling for podiums or even the win. But Remote now, 2 seconds off in the lead. That's going to be incredibly difficult on the same set of tyres to catch up, and especially Brown on older tyres as well. It's not going to help him out at all. It's been a tough one, I think, for AB as well. I don't think they've walked away well from this race. 3 points for P8, and they're going to get up to 10th, so 4 points at the end of tonight. Not what AB needed at all. Not what they needed in their race tonight. Really the opposite of what I think any team needed. But for XR8 at the same time, it's not looking great for them. But here comes Bourbon Boy on Joseph Bryn. Now down the back straight, you can see heading into the braking zone. Bran unable to pull past the Sauber. That's not good for Bran because he's still stuck in 4th, and Milan is caught up as well. So maybe some teamwork. And look at that. Bourbon Boy goes off the track quite heavily. Whoa, an aggressive move, but it allows Joseph Bryn to actually get back past Bourbon Boy for P2. This is horrific for XPG and Bourbon Boy. This is turning into hell for them, and it's turning into a bit of hell for Brown as well because his tyres are going off a bit more, and Milan is all over the back, and this is now a 4-way fight for the podium. Look at this around the outside. Milan challenging Bran. It is only a battle over 1 extra point, by the way, but it is 1 extra point for SKG that they'd very much like, that would really put them in a good position, put them ahead of them in the constructor. But look at this, Bran and Bourbon Boy going at it now. Jesus Christ, there's a lot of battling happening here towards the end of this race. Bourbon Boy backs out, and Bran now onto the podium positions. And look at this. Was that Milan trying to make a move? It was, but it's not enough of a move. We'll ride on board with Bourbon Boy. He's really struggling on his tyres now. He's really struggling to keep up. Joseph Bryn is putting on an incredible performance. He's allowed his teammates to get 3.3 seconds off in the lead now. But look at this. This is incredibly close. Here comes Milan on Bourbon Boy. Whoa, look at Joseph Bryn. He's really giving a tough time to everybody else. Joseph Bryn's gone a bit deep, but he's gotten the exit. I think he has very much gotten the exit because he's going to hold on to P2. Joseph Bryn's defensive masterclass we're seeing going on here. We're seeing such a masterclass going on from Joseph Bryn at the moment. I swear, I'm going to have to make shorts of this. I'm going to have to put this in our shorts. But look at this! Look at the battling! Joseph Bryn! He's battling with everything he's got to get ahead of Bran, to stay ahead of Bran, to get onto that P2 position. Look at this. He's still battling with Bran over P2. Around the outside, late on the brakes, he's going. And he's going to try. Oh my god, Brad's really got early on the brakes. And there's more battling between XR8 and SKG. Around the outside is what Brad's trying to make the move. Whoa, and onto the grass goes Joseph Bryn. Can he hold on to it? He's trying to as best as he can. Unable to, though. He's down to P3. But that battle has allowed his teammates to get almost 4.5 seconds into the lead. But look at this, Joseph Bryn going for it again. Down the inside. He's really giving Bran a hard time. Bran's not going to get any positions out of this. But look at this. 3 wide. Bran's down to 4th. Bourbon Boy also makes a move. And Joseph Bryn once again is into P2. Yeah, man. Yes, I will get the link working as soon as the race is over. Make sure to stick around till the end of the race, and I will get the link working, and I will let you know as soon as the race is over. Look at all of this. Bran now trying to get ahead. Bourbon Boys up to P2. XPG pushing their way up, but look at this. Oh, contact. Bran's made a mistake, And that is now round. Contact has led to Bran down to P5. But all this battling has put Bran down and out. And it's 5th and 6th now. 17 points for XR8. But what I will do is I'll quickly grab the link now. I'll quickly grab the link. And I'll quickly add it. My apologies for the link not working. It should have been working. Usually it does. So my apologies. You can try it now. If you try it now, yeah, man, it should now be working. My apologies to have the game not showing. But yeah, try it now. It should be working. Joseph Bryn has also given his place up to Milan. So still. And look at this, Bran down the inside. He's trying to make the move. But Joseph Bryn, not scared at all. He's willing to battle. So yeah, your man, you can now use the new link. It's been updated. Make sure to use that and join. You'll find everything quite interesting. But Joseph Bryn, what a defensive masterclass we're seeing from this man. He's really annoying SKG at the moment. I mean, unbelievably, he's annoying them. Oh my god, there's been a moment as well. UFRT versus ABE. A crazy moment. What has happened there? Oof. Yeah, man, just let me know whether the link does work now or not. It should be working. If it doesn't, please let me know. Because I'll try to fix that. Bran and Joseph Bryn battling it out. Joseph Bryn down another position. But his defensive masterclass, I think we have to talk about how incredible his masterclass has been at the moment. Oh my god, and here he comes again on Bran. These two are going to be season rivals, I think, because of how much they are battling. Joseph Bryn is not letting go of this P4. He has really put everything he can for his team. He's really given XR8 no option but to fight. And it is showing here tonight. It's showing so much. Joseph Bryn runs off the road a bit. He comes back on safely. And now into the next corner. Oh my god, look at this. Josh now retires down to 10 drivers. Joseph Bryn and Bran both battling over position. Bran's going to let his teammate Josh Rose have a go at Joseph Bryn. But it looks like it's going to be a double podium for SKG, at least here tonight. It's looking like an absolute... It's looking crazy. It is looking incredibly crazy at the moment. Yeah, great. It's great to know that the link is now working. And I do apologise for it not working. But now look at this. Teamwork has now led Joseph Bryn down to P6. He's still trying to battle with Bran. Unable to hold on to P4. But he's still trying his best with what he can. He's dropped behind. It's the last lap. Last lap of the race. Remote will be taking the most dominant victory, I think, of the season. 6 seconds off in the lead. SKG win again. XPG on the podium, though. And a good 21 points for XR8. But in all fairness, XR8, 21 points is nothing for them this season. It does pull them further off into the lead. You know, it does pull them to 176 points in the championship. But realistically, being off the podium, not where you want to be. It's really not where you want to be or where you can be. And in all fairness, this is not where you want to be as a championship leading team. You don't want to be this far behind. You know, you never want to be this far behind. Hopefully, yeah, man, you've also subscribed. Left a like as well. Great if you have. But we're going to be watching Milan on last section of track. Nobody can really make moves now. And it's going to be Milan. We've got to take in... We've got to take in this incredible performance from Remote. He's led pretty much the entire race. As now Bran and Josh Rose now changed places. But it is Remote who wins in China in Fords. He didn't get it on Wednesday, but he's gotten it here on Sunday. Bourbon Boy will finish P2 with Milan in P3. Bran picks up a 3-second time penalty, though. That's going to drop him down to P5 anyway. Josh Rose finishes in... Joseph Bryn finishes in 6th. Deck is going to finish in 7th. 5 points walking their way of UFRT. And if Pishi stays in P9, it's going to be a nice 7 points walking away of UFRT here tonight. And then we have Bonnie next, and then Pishi, and then finally and lastly, we're going to be having Berkey crossing the line. So Bonnie finishes P8, 9th will be Pishi, and finally last we've got Berkey. But what a win. What an incredible win from Remote. Dominance indeed. Dominance from this team. Incredible performance. Incredible, incredible, incredible. Nothing can be said about that race. Absolutely. Incredible defending as well from Joseph Bryn. Absolutely amazing. You've got to give it to Joseph Bryn as well. He very much saved SKG in a lot of ways tonight. Very much in a lot of ways. But incredible. Incredible race. I have no words for it. It has taken all of my energy out of me. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely. Whew. So yeah. Incredible finish in the end. Holy. Let's go through the order of the grid. It is Remote who won in the end and with fast lap as well, so takes all 19 points. Bourbon Boy finishes second with an incredible race from Milan from 10th to 3rd. Josh Rose finishes 4th with Brand, dropping down to 5th. Joseph Bryn is 6th, followed by Deck, Bonnie, Pishi, Berkey, then Josh in 11th. Our retirements being Bop, Daniel, Julian, Hazer, Tartsauce, and Ryan Bernink. Ultimately, do we feel like we want some lovely interviews? Do we feel like interviews? Does anybody feel like they want to do some interviews here tonight? I don't think so. I don't believe anybody would want to do interviews. So, ultimately, that is all for tonight. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please think about subscribing and leaving a like. Also, make sure to click on that notification bell to know about all the content we're going to be doing from videos, shorts, and of course these incredible streams with this incredible racing. I hope you've really enjoyed it a huge amount, because let me tell you, I have so much. It's been such an incredible evening. Make sure to join us on Wednesday for round number 8 of Tier 1. Also make sure to join us next week. Run through the calendar quickly. We've now gone through Imola, Abu Dhabi, Qatar, Great Britain, Austria, Kota, and now China. 2 races to go. And next week is the Netherlands on the 4th. And then on the 11th, the finale in Bahrain. It's getting incredibly close. Incredibly close, I must say. I hope you guys enjoyed it so much. And big thanks also to our affiliates, SimRacing Centre. Make sure to go check out their Discord server. The link is down below. Ultimately, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Come and join us on the lovely day of Wednesday for Tier 1. And I'll see you then. Bye.